Hey y'all, hey! I'm back to share my latest art journal spread, and I want to share with you that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, as well as I'm participating in a challenge called Get Messy May. You'll see right now that I am tearing out some pages in a past journal over 10 years old that described how I didn't want to be here anymore. I described wanting to commit suicide, and I actually attempted shortly after writing these journal pages. But in participating in the Get Messy May challenge, I learned some art techniques from two artists that I combined in the spread to help me not hide these pages anymore, but use them to recreate beauty. And so, first, I'll share that while I'm tearing these pages up, I'm tearing up a part of my past that is no longer a part of my future. And it felt so good to participate in this tearing process. And I learned how to experiment with grid art, which was taught to us by Kelly Wynn, who is Kelly Wynn Studios on Instagram. And she basically creates these little squares of art and puts them inside her art journal. Now, I combined her day, which was day 7, cultivation, with the next day, which is today, day 8. And today's artist shared mess. That was the theme of day 8. Her name is Lizzie LaRock, and she's actually a photographer who says in her tutorial that she struggled with making a mess. But she challenged us to grab scissors and take a page out of a past journal that was painful or something that, we were moving on from that was messy in our lives, and recreate the sentences and the structure of that to create art. And so I combined both lessons of cultivate and mess into the spread that you're seeing me create now. So I tore those journal pages up, made the little grid squares as I learned from Kelly, and I also am tearing up these pages and recreating something new as Lizzie taught in her lesson. So you'll see a 2-page spread of this. One of the things that I would love to emphasize here is that I had no direction outside of the teaching of these two artists of how to create these pages. So I literally just tore these past journal entries up, glued them down to the page, found some colors in my new Dina Wakley acrylic paint that I thought would pair nicely together, and I just used my finger to add color to each of the squares. You'll also see me use a little bit of metallic gold paint pen marker because I love gold, 1, and 2, because I wanted something to shine through the color, which is representative and symbolic for me of how I have shined through a lot of past hurt and pain. And finally, one of the things that I want to share with you is that during Mental Health Awareness Month, I have discovered that it has been easy for a lot of people to come forward to advocate for the month and for the cause. But what I'm also finding is that it seems to be difficult for a lot of these same people to share how and why they got to the place of needing to be an advocate for the cause. And so I'm here to share with you today that I am a survivor of child sexual abuse. I am a survivor of domestic violence. I am a survivor of suicide attempts. And those are the things that led up to me knowing the importance of taking care of our mental health. And so I just would love to encourage you that if you are one of those people who has avidly shared that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, if you feel inspired or encouraged right now, if you're feeling a tug on your heart to do and say more, maybe just a peek at least, to share the why behind mental health awareness and prevention. I think it's important for us to understand, how did we get to a place where we're struggling mentally? And without having those conversations, true healing won't start in our communities. What we're doing is just kind of taking a ball and throwing it back and forth with mental health awareness, but ignoring the mess that happens underneath us passing that ball back and forth. And I know that it's safer to say our mental health is important and that we need to take care of it. But it's also safe to say why. It's safe to say that you survived something tough. It's safe to say that you're cultivating greatness in your life after overcoming tragedy in your past. It's safe to say that you're still struggling today. It's safe to say and tell your story. And so if you don't learn anything else from this YouTube video outside of being creative, I hope that you learn to value your voice and know that your story matters. So enjoy the rest of this video. I am so pleased with the outcome of the spread. A lot of the supplies that you see me using here are Dana Wakley, from the paint to the actual journal. And the final result is something that I'm going to cherish forever, because I finally tore up this painful part of my past. And I invite you to join me